Hello, beautiful beings. I hope you guys are doing well. Bro, just fixing it. I wanted to jump on here because we are less than 3 days away from the Earth Dharma portal closing, and there's so many messages that have been hitting that have been coming through collectively. And I want to just do a quick little live with you guys. Nothing crazy long. I just cleared my space. I invite you to my portal space. I just did a cleanse energetically, physically. It feels so good in here. The energy, I hope it transfers through. I have my candle lighting. We're just fully in the mood. The orbs are behind me. It feels really good. So I hope your Gemini full moon was beautiful. Let me know how you were feeling for the Gemini full moon, or whenever you see this. If you're seeing the replay, #replay. Let me know how you're feeling. And also let me know where you're tuning in from. Hello, Missouri. And if it's your first time on the live, I'm Shika, and my intention is really to teach space holders how to step into their gifts and hold space and help their communities back in the right relations, elemental, and really stepping into their heart when doing that in community. And that's my biggest look for that for this world. And that's really why the Earth Dharma created itself. But I want to talk about some really beautiful things. I just got back from a weekend of a deep portal. My moon cycle was supposed to come, but guess what? She didn't come to Earthside until like yesterday. But it was 2 days of deep downloads, deep medicine. Oh, thanks so much. And it's been so potent that I'm like, what is my life right now? And I feel like I want to share with you guys. We're close. Hello. And I want to just drop in with you guys on some beautiful things. I won't share everything in the community, but I'll share the things that are coming up. And one of the biggest things is Spirit's been weaving with me some very beautiful, strong medicine people, carriers that have been connecting with me. And some of which have been in my life for a while and have been teachers for me and have been guides. And I'm so beyond grateful. Like, it is a deep honor to be connecting with these beautiful souls and to share, which is coming up, to share their wisdom with you here. And that's one of the biggest things I want to share with you, is that this moving forward with this channel, I'm going to be sharing a lot more deeper, potent messages, and I'm going to be posting on YouTube. But what's coming up for me is like, there are some things that I want to talk about that I don't feel like YouTube supports. So with that, I feel like in the coming years, what's going to happen, I'm going to have this YouTube channel, but there will be different spaces where we'll be talking about light beings and the shift of the world and why we are having such astral projectoral experiences. I don't know if you've been noticing, but the veil is so thin that now we're getting to the point where the full moon and new moon, it doesn't matter if it's a full moon or new moon, you're receiving deep messages, your dreams are crazy. Like, it's just, there's so much new energy that's on this earth. It's kind of overwhelming for us, right? So let me know if that resonates with you with the fire emoji in the chat. But with that, I want to be a guide to support you and to bring people who are very amazing channelers and medicine beings to come and share their wisdom with you to support you. So that's one of the biggest highlights and collective messages that I've been getting for you, is like really tuning into the earth is evolving. And with that, a lot of beings are transitioning. And there's also a lot of new beings coming in at a rapid pace with gifts that we've never seen before. You, me, and no one has seen before. And they're so lit that they're going to need a world. They're going to need an earth. And I don't know if any of you here in the community have had a young one in the past couple of years, and they're warriors coming into this time. There's even more warriors to come. So I just want to share that message that's coming up for me. The second collective message I want to share is the importance of supporting and the importance of protecting the Indigenous wisdom. I've been talking about this in my YouTube channels a lot, but there's a lot of projects I'm working on in the back end to support. And one of the biggest messages I want to share with you guys is that collectively, the earth, this world cannot really be supported. We cannot thrive unless we have the support of the Indigenous, like, period. Right? As beings, we are constantly humans. We take a lot, right? We have to take that responsibility. Humans take a lot from this earth. We take the food, we put litter. There's so many things that we do. This is not new, right? And unfortunately, even though it's not new, we have to look at the responsibility. And as I'm talking about this on this full moon, I want to share this, use this energy to channel this with you and to you from divine, and asking yourself, okay, how can I weave and work with these amazing elders and carriers in my lands? Do you know the name of the area where you live? And I'm not talking the state, I'm not talking the province, I'm not talking about the city, but what is its indigenous name? Knowing that is going to allow you to connect and for the land to be more responsive to support you, but also for you to support the land. And that's a big message that's been coming up for me more and more. The second thing is that I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you've gone hiking in your neighborhood, or maybe you've gone and looked at the nature, but there's a big shift that's happening with the trees, right? And the life, like a lot of people saying that lakes, like the fish aren't the same. And, the, all these things are not the same. And the reason why is because we need to go back to weaving and working with nature, right? And unfortunately, as humans, we don't like change, but even more so, we're too comfortable. And when I say too comfortable, we're too comfortable in the life that we complain about, but will not change. And that was a big thing as I was sitting and I was having conversation with these beautiful, amazing medicine beings. One thing I was thinking about is like, wow, we are so comfortable in the life that we want to change. We're doing this work in healing, but are we actually evolving and doing the change? Are we making the changes happen? Are we living what we're speaking into existence? And that's where we have to take that responsibility. Something big has shifted on my end as well, energetically. I'm sure you guys have felt it, where it's like there is a deeper understanding, and I continue to weave it and understand it and learn of like why we're here, right? And you're going to see that more in the channel messages and stuff. I'm not just talking about level stuff. I'm talking about deep channel messages, deep things that get to the root of the issues of this earth, in our soul, shadow work, healing, happiness, peace, all these things that we need to really tune into, right? So I want you to really think about, how can I weave with, the carriers of the lands, the wisdom of the lands, the elders of the lands, because that is needed. And again, there's a huge project. I have a meeting next week with a few amazing people. One of them, a friend and teacher of mine, that is going to really impact this community. So for those of you attending to retreats, those of you coming to the Earth Dharma training, like, whoa, you're coming at the most pivotal time. And I say divine timing's everything, right? So I want to just share with you guys, we closed the portal in less than 3 days for the Earth Dharma training. It's a 1-year training to teach you how to be a space holder and work with the elements. Those of you who are jumping into this program currently, there are 2 spots available. Right? I just had 3 of you message me saying, Shika, I moved through the resistance. There will be resistance because, as I mentioned, collectively, let's just take Earth Dharma out of the equation, the program. We have to look at the responsibility of beings of like, we're doing this work. Are we living it though? Are we living the peace that we're working on all the shadow work and the releasing and the healing? We can't always be in this space of like constantly trying to heal, fix, right? Then we have to look at that. Why is that conditioning? Why do we believe we have to fix something as opposed to see it as what it is, witness it, love it, and integrate it into our human life, right? So I just want to share this with you guys because I'm seeing this, this kind of, I guess you can say, pattern that is happening. And I am calling in the deepest warriors ready for change, not the ones that just want to, do the thing and that's it. I had a message the other day. I haven't responded to it from one of the community beings. And I felt like, and they probably didn't even know, they were sharing so much about, the change that they wanted and the pain that they're going through, and wanted to collaborate from that space. And all I could read was, save me, Shika. I'm not here to save you through my videos. I'm here to empower you. Okay. This idea of people who, and watch that when people like try to weave and work and play on your pain and your wounds, watch that. Okay. When we talk about protecting energy, we observe to see what doesn't feel like ours and what feels like someone else's. Right. So as empaths, as empathic beings, as we are, all of us are, tuning into understanding collectively as you are changing and evolving, someone's going to be triggered because your new self is being witnessed and they can only see you as your old self. But it's still your responsibility not to abandon that new version of you that is calling in to be safe in this body, shifting its energy to what aligns the most for your soul, right? So that's still our responsibility. I always say that it's not our fault what happened to us in our shadow work and our traumas, but it's our responsibility to make sure that that version of us feels safe and feels loved, right? And it's our responsibility not to be in that victimhood or in that savior mood or like in that villain vibe. It's our responsibility to come back to our hearts, right? So I just want to share this deep potency that I've been feeling, this grand rising with you guys. And as I close the portal, I'm actually doing a full ceremony for when the doors close. Like, I think a lot of people are just like, oh, it's it's literally such a ceremony. I'm sure a lot of you have done the meditation. I've seen hundreds of you do the meditation, and probably you felt the potency of the Earth Dharma meditation, where it walks you into your Dharma, opens you into the gate of your own Dharma with your soul. And for that, that's a process, right? It's not just like, let me apply and do this meditation. No, it's ceremonial, right? So you're walking into the gates and seeing, what's in your way that that's preventing you from stepping into your purpose in this earth time, which means there are things that are not aligned that you're going to have to say goodbye to, right? And weave in the new, weave in the great mystery, weave in the things you don't know. And that happens every time we change, right? You are a new version than you were yesterday, a month ago, a year ago. How much have you dedicated to that new version of you of integrating into this life? How much have you allowed that version of you to fully flourish without feeling judged and caring about other people's judgment, right? So these are all things to kind of understand and to tune into, right? And the same thing with the ceremonial application. As you're typing in your story, like I can really feel I'm walking with you of you talking about, how do you want to help this world heal? How do you want to be a guide of light? How do you want to work with the earth and weaving and understand you are a steward of this earth and you are helping and she holds you every single time. But you also equally, we have responsibility moving forward. We're going to need to hold her in the same way we do in a friendship, right? If you've ever been in a friendship where it's one way and someone hasn't showed up, and if you know what I'm talking about, put a purple emoji heart down below, where it just feels like you are the one putting all the energy in there, right? It's not in alignment. And what the earth is channeling is there's a lot that is out of alignment and she needs support. She needs help. And this is where the Earth Dharma program was created. It's understanding your unique gifts that from your heart working together to weave and understand where history has repeated itself and how things need to change for the evolution of the heightened consciousness that is being driven, dropped in, channeled into this earth beyond anything we can understand. It doesn't matter how many things you journal, we will not understand it until we live it and experience it. We can feel it. And I can tell you right now where the earth is as I'm channeling this. I feel it. It's big and it makes you feel like you don't know anything, which is beautiful. But that's a good place to be. But what you do know is you are listening to the intuitive nudges instead of going into the mind and calculating everything and acting from that space. Because those who are so heavily in the mind, the next few years are going to be the dark night of the soul for those souls. I'm going to just be completely transparent. If you are not weaving with the unseen, it's going to be a hard few years for you. Now, if you allow yourself to surrender into that, and be open to shift your energy, the next few years is going to be mind-blowing, mind shifting for you, and just energetically shifting. Your whole life is about to shift deeper and expand bigger than you ever know. And that is the depth of where we're stepping into moving forward. It's so beautiful. Like, I don't even know how to channel that because it's so beautiful what I've been witnessing and experiencing, and the beings that have been connecting with me, they are so potent and they're here to help. And for us to think that we're doing this experience alone or that we have to do it alone is completely oblivious to what this whole human experience is about. It's not actually about being alone. It's not about holding it on your own and having to be like, yeah, I did this on my own. No, that stuff's done, right? It's about stepping into humility and being like, I need help here. We need to work together. You know, there's a bigger picture than just checking off the manifestations you want to create. There's something bigger. And for those who are interested in something bigger, then you're in alignment for Earth Dharma. You're in alignment for a lot of big things that are coming up and the announcements I'm going to be sharing in the next few months. And for those, I'm so excited for us and for everyone connected is beyond. So I just want to share that. I also want to share with you guys too, a little bit more about Earth Dharma, because I've been getting a lot of you guys asking, Shika, I have resistance. Let me know in the comments with the rainbow emoji if you did the meditation and how that was for you. But if you have resistance, what I'm going to share with you may support you, or it will support you regardless, is what I'm going to say. One, all the resistance you're receiving in your body, and this is not just Earth Dharma, this is any life change you go through, that version of you bubbles up to the surface because it knows it's about to be shed, right? It knows there's going to be space for it to finally say what it needs to say, for it to be finally seen. It's been in the shadow for so long, and that is the energy of full moons, right? Full moons light up where we can't see things, where we're not seeing consciously what we have to look at, right? So if you've experienced that resistance, for you to think, how do I move through it? The answer is you don't know. And you have to be accepting of that you don't know, right? I've been having deep prayers of conscious community and expansion and just helping the world and the Indigenous for a very long time, for years. And it's only now that I'm seeing it, divine timing. Do I regret it? I wish I did this a little sooner. I wish I did this differently. Absolutely not. Because spirit knows that the version I am right now can hold that in integrity and in my heart. And for us to rush our process, this journey, I think we're losing the full grasp of what Dharma is. Dharma is understanding that your purpose is fulfilling with you, that you are working alongside with your purpose, filling up your cup. And in doing that, you are pouring infinitely into the collective, and it's coming back to you in tenfolds. And you don't even expect it to come back to you in tenfolds because you're so in your heart that you're supported regardless. That is the depth of this program. You're going to see miracles happen. Things are going to not make sense because of how much shifting happens. And the version of you that resists it right now, resists that maybe everything that I've been wanting to call in is going to happen and more. And I have no control of it coming in. And the answer is you don't. But if you're willing to say, hey, I don't know what's coming up, and who I am right now might be completely different. Maybe the version of me that is here, I'm giving gratitude for that version, because that version of me, that resisted version, that lacks scarcity version, that version of me that is fearful or scared or the unknown or whatever it is the version of me that needed to be here for me to understand where I'm going. If you got it right away, the journey would just not be a journey, it would just be the result. And this whole, I guess you can say, key to life is the journey. You look at this from a lot of elders, that's how you learn this from the older generation. They always say, like, their last years, they have everything they need. The whole life was like focusing on things that you thought you needed. And when you can lean into the great mystery of that resistance, into that fear, you're giving permission for that fear to shift to desire. You're giving permission for that resistance to shed and to be safe, to feel surrender. You're giving permission for yourself to feel scarcity and move out of that to abundance, and all is supported. And that version of you has to tune in and say, hey, wait, am I willing to receive that? It's scary. I get it. I 100% get it. It's going to be scary. And this program is going to keep putting you in every part of your resistance. Every little nook and cranny that you weren't looking at or hiding from is going to come up. But imagine all of those fears that you face. That means that many desires are going to be unveiled. Imagine all of the resistance you have. That means that many of like openings are going to happen. Imagine all of the scarcity and lack perspective. That means so much love is going to be poured into you and all that are connected. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, everyone that is connected to you is going to feel that. It's so beautiful to see people who come into the space or do this work and they see it unfold at home. Their family isn't in ceremony with them, but because they become a walking example, that energy is contagious. And they see that love. This weekend, I ended up connecting with this young child who literally goes to different, he's amazing. If you want to look him up, you can. It's called World Peace. And he goes around to reserves with the Indigenous and First Nations. And he goes and he makes songs with the young kids. And he gets them to rap about, their culture, their life on the reserves. And the energy that shifts in them, he's uplifting them. His light, his gift is happiness and peace and energy. And it's just so beautiful to witness. And that's what he does all across this country. He just drives and gives people and makes videos with them. And it was just so nice to meet him. And I was just like, I'm so grateful that Spirit brought me to connect with you, like, that's amazing that you want world peace, that you understand that world peace means coming to the root of the issue. And the root of the issue is to talk to the oldest souls of the lands. And every single place in the world has that wisdom. It is unfortunately becoming extinct. And if it becomes extinct, that means we cannot rely on the nature, because they are the ones that know and connect the deepest with nature and its codes, right? So the resistance there too is like the resistance of understanding what we thought we knew as our life and who we are is going to be completely kiboshed. I can tell you right now, what you think is what is right and what is shadow work, and that's about to be shifted the moment you weave into elements, because nature is the deepest wisdom. That has taught me that 222. Taking action into listening to nature is going to be the deepest medicine and healing for you. The moment I started working with nature, the moment I started to connect with it, it supported me. Simplest thing, I recently started to bring plants into my space more. I have a lot of plants in my house now. And that was one thing that I wanted to do. I was like, my new space, I want to, bring nature into my life, have it support me, but I can support it. And it's teaching me where I need to show up a little bit more with nature. And it's calling me out on it. And I'm listening and I'm like, okay, I hear you. Show me, teach me. It's humbling me, So again, like, this is the resistance you're feeling. So for the hundreds of you that have done the meditation, I'm for celebrating you for doing that. Those of you feeling the resistance, you have a choice. There's no right or wrong. But I will say that those of you who are feeling called and know deep in your soul, you're like, I feel a call, but this, you are creating a story to attach to the version of you right now. And you can, if you want, free will. But I can also say that that's what's happening. That's your process. And that's the process of finding your Dharma, finding why you're here, understanding, not finding it, rediscovering it. It's already there as we're talking right now, right? And the depth and the support, the 4 spaces of this program is community, connecting to the elements and the wisdom, understanding the structure of how to hold space and integrity and trauma-informed, and having a family that supports you beyond anything you know. This isn't just a program. Like I said, there's a big projects that I'm working on and signing into, and to help and support those in the Earth Dharma students and those who are alumni, because I want to see you prosper. Like, for me to think that I'm the only one here to help support would be ignorant of me. Every single person has a gift here. And my true vision of this earth is for everyone to tap into that, weaving with nature, coming in together in peace and working together. And if you are very sensitive with everything happening in the world the past few years that have been heightened, and the level has gone up a little bit, it's to say, wake up, wake up. Feel it. Don't hide. Those of you hiding from the news, hiding from everything, that's your way of numbing. You can either watch what's happening in the world or see how can I change it together. Don't hold it on your shoulders either. It's not your responsibility to hold it, but it is our responsibility to work together. And that's what I'm calling in for my community. So deep message that I wanted to share. Again, I never know why. Spirit's like, come on here, do a collective reading. I'm like, okay, cool. Share the wisdom. And I just want to say, for those of you who are space holders, for those of you who feel called, but are like, I'm so overwhelmed, I've never started, like, that's okay, right? That is okay. Even those who've done it for many years, you still have lots to learn. I still have lots to learn. Doesn't mean anything how many years you've been doing it, Ashley. It's all about understanding that we're constantly learning, we're constantly evolving, and knowing where we are at in our journey, right? That's the beauty of it. That's living. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you guys what's to come. And I can't wait to see what souls end up stepping into the Earth Dharma. I also, if you're not ready to step into that 1-year commitment, there is the retreats as well. We have the Heaven and Earth retreat that's happening in February in Costa Rica. It's a co-collaboration with other amazing medicine beings. And then I have 2 retreats in Portugal, the Ancestral Retreat and also the Womb Activated Goddess Retreat. So women's retreats can be really potent. So you have 3 opportunities if that is something that you feel like will really support you and help you. And it will really just open you up to all the things. And obviously, you guys know I'll be posting channel messages and full moon and new moon updates. And we have the Reiki 2 training that's coming up this weekend. If you want to register for that, you have to be certified Reiki 1. You can do that. Just email me. It's not too late. And yeah, I feel like I'm so excited to see who ends up doing it. So again, those in the resistance of Earth Dharma, I really hope that you make it on the other side and you just allow yourself to surrender to the great mystery and everything that you're about to detach and be stripped away from, to open yourself back to love and to open yourself back to you, wholeness in yourself, home, feel home. I want you to feel home, every single one of you. That's my deepest prayer for everyone, to feel home and comfortable, and not comfortable, safe in themselves. Comfortable is comfortable in their soul being of who you are, your truth. That's what I mean by comfortable. So I'm sending you the deepest love. Thank you for coming here to connect with me. Again, check all those things in my link tree. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put notification bell, share this with a friend if you know someone that feels aligned to this message. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.